land, but the Lamb will triumph over them, because he is the Lord of lords and King of kings. And with him will be his called, chosen and faithful followers. Then the angel said to me, the waters you saw where the prostitute sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and language. The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God has put it into their hearts to accomplish his purpose by agreeing to hand over the beast their royal authority until God's words are fulfilled. This woman you saw is the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. And after talking to Pastor Lou, I did decide to add another little piece of scripture this week. Revelation 19, 9 through 10. Then the angel said to me, write, blessed are those who are invited to the wedding supper of the Lamb. And he added, these are the true words of God. At this I fell to the feet to worship him. But he said to me, do not do it. I am a fellow servant with you and with your brothers who hold to the testimony of Jesus, worships God. For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. So, just to get this started, a light and a dark tunnel. When we think of a light and a dark tunnel, we often think of like going through a tunnel at like Eisenhower Tunnel or something. We may not actually see the light at the end of the tunnel, but we know it is there. And along the way, we may get strayed or even estrewed from our destination. And I was thinking, as Pastor Lou always makes like the analogies, a shadow is our darkness. And the only time that our darkness is actually gone is when the sun is straight above us. But really, if you think about it, our darkness is still below us. So is it possible to ever escape the darkness? And Revelations is a good way to actually see this. When we look at Revelations, there's 7 churches. In the 7 churches, there's only one that has not sinned or been sinful, Church of Philadelphia. And all the other are criticized. So can darkness ever be defeated then, where they are sinful? Well, if the Church of Philadelphia went up against the darkness, would they be successful where they aren't sinful? Well, the 7 is a sacred number. There's 7 thrones in that temple, and 7 is just sacred. So in order to defeat the darkness, you have to be unified. The only way that the 7 churches will ever succeed is to be unified. And then the second scripture that I read, the kneeling. So John, he witnessed all the destruction in Revelations. He saw the angel and the 7 trumpets, the multitude of 144,000 in white, and he just saw all the destruction. And we look at this, John actually did see the light at the end of the tunnel. And when you think of John seeing the light at the tunnel, you would think, why is John being a sinner? Well, you look and he sees all the destruction that has come down to the earth and all the people of the earth. And yet he is still tempted to be sinful and do false worship. The one thing that we are told to do when we worship is kneel. And John, in that moment, is so fearful of the destruction that he saw, or amazed at the light and power that he saw, that he is ready to do a false worship to the angel that God has sent to do the destruction to the earth. So the point of this is, this kneeling that John is doing, is he really doing it in a sinful manner? Because he has seen the light that he has witnessed. But he is also fearful of what the light can do to him. So we go back to the beast with the seven hills. 5 kings, one is risen, one's yet to come. And we look at this, the 5 kings, it's kind of a weird situation that we're looking at. The 10 kings are definitely there to serve the devil because they're sinful and they will give the world back to the beast. But the 5 kings, and I haven't yet completely figured this one out, that the